Buenos días y bienvenidos a todo. Good morning and welcome, everyone. Welcome to a community dedicated to providing spiritual tools for living a happy and full life. My name is Karina Shear, and I am the spiritual director and founding minister here at the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta. If you would like to join us for the live Zoom meeting, please contact me for the link and the password, or check our website, www.cslpv.org, on the weekly talk section. Welcome to the merry month of May. Today is Sunday, May 3rd, 2026. And our topic for this month is divine doubt. For today, we will be talking about self-doubt as the starting block. And the suggested reading for this month is a book by Howard Thurman, Disciplines of the Spirit. So at this time, I would like to once again welcome everyone, including those that are new to our teaching and to our center here in Vallarta, whether you are on the live Zoom call or watching the replay at a later time. Here we teach a philosophy that honors all faith traditions. So whatever path you are on, know that it is the right one for you. We teach the philosophy called the science of mind. It's a teaching based on new thought and ancient wisdom, where we offer spiritual tools of principles to promote personal growth. When Dr. Ernest Holmes first started this teaching in the early 1920s, he had studied both Eastern and Western spiritual texts in order to create this powerful thing called the mind. When asked to provide a concise definition of the science of mind teaching, he had replied that it is a correlation of laws of science, opinions of philosophy, and revelations of religion applied to human needs and aspirations. So each week, we offer service with an inspirational message. We offer the Zoom meeting at 10 a.m. and also meet in person Sundays at noon. And whether you are on the Zoom meeting or in person, please join us after for some coffee and great conversation with like-minded people. So now let's review our purpose, vision, and mission statements. We have a grand purpose here each week, and that is to awaken and celebrate diversity and to love and serve our community. We do this by means of our vision, creating the life you desire, which is supported by our mission to provide spiritual tools for personal growth and transformation. And more on all of these can be found on their own drop-down menu on our website. And so now let's start with a spiritual mind treatment from the Creative Thought magazine from May 2014, which was its final year in print. And as you may recall, spiritual mind treatment is always done in the first person. So please take these words as your own if you so choose. With loving intention, I place my awareness into the one universal creative presence, recognizing its unbounded love for me as itself. It is God, the self-givingness of spirit, and I am open to accepting more of my amazing true self than ever before. Allowing the truth of these ideas to be embodied and awakened in my soul, an inner energy is stirred within me. I savor the flow of my own creative juices. I am the creative outlet of divine mind. filled and brimming over with ideas that sparkle as life-giving, fun-filled experiences. My imagination accepts images of beauty. Joy becomes my natural state. I feel amazing. I am the creative process, moving through stages of letting go of self-imposed restrictions and all unloving self-talk and behavior. With gratitude, I claim more of my divine birthright and the power to allow an expanded consciousness of my oneness in God. I accept that I am whole and complete in health, love, financial well-being, creative ideas, and self-confidence. I open and receive from the spiritual treasure house all that I need, all that is good, all that I can imagine, and more. Today, I claim my amazing life and know that I am an avenue for the kingdom of all good. I am the awesome power of God. All I need is right where I am. God is amazing, and so am I. I release my word to God, and so it is. And that was originally submitted by Reverend Christine Jeffers from Golden, Colorado. So this week, we are going to be exploring the potential, beauty, and vulnerability of divine doubt. And as the old adage goes, the opposite of faith is not doubt, but certainty. A refusal to engage doubt weakens faith by forcing it to be rigidly believed rather than lived into. Additionally, willingness to explore and examine doubt alongside faith adds layers of richness to the mystery that simple certainty can never reach. This exploration will begin with self-doubt as the starting block, using self-doubt to open the conversation from the personal inner experience, focusing on vulnerability and the transformative guiding power of leaning into doubt. In The Science of Mind, Ernest Holmes wrote this: our mind must be steady in its conviction that our life is some part of God and that the Spirit is incarnated in us. Affirmations and denials are for the purpose of vitalizing faith, for the purpose of converting thought to a belief in spiritual things. So self-doubt is often the most personal and universal form of doubt, something nearly all of us have experienced. Self-doubt becomes the foundation for other forms of doubt within our communities, our spirituality, and even with our relationship with the divine. When we believe we are not enough or fall into that stinking thinking patterns of thinking, we tend to retreat and hide, creating disconnection from both community and spirit. This is not self-doubt itself, but our rejection of it, which allows it to grow unchecked. When we accept self-doubt as a natural part of being human, we resist the pull toward isolation and illusion, and instead open ourselves to the ongoing experience of divine source through authentic, vulnerable community. Self-doubt is a normal and healthy part of the human experience, yet we often approach it as a flaw, something to correct, or a weakness to overcome. In our pursuit of creating what's possible, we may inadvertently overlook or even demonize these natural elements of human psychology and development. Self-doubt, like tiredness, hunger, or excitement, is a nearly universal experience that signals something valuable, a moment to pause, reflect, and perhaps reassess. When we reject or suppress uncomfortable feelings, such as self-doubt, we lose the opportunity to understand ourselves more deeply and to grow through them. Accepting self-doubt as part of everyday life allows us to honor our full humanity in all its complexity, embracing both our confidence and our uncertainty as equally important parts of the journey toward wholeness. And Holmes said this: "We did not create our nature. We cannot change its inherent reality. We are what we are, and we use this nature for better or for worse." So when we hide our self-doubt, it tends to fester and grow, feeding a cycle of doubt, isolation, deeper doubt, and even deeper isolation. Self-doubt on its own is not inherently harmful. It's simply part of being human. What often turns into a source of pain is the secrecy and shame that we attach to it. In spiritual communities where the focus is frequently placed on positivity, affirmations, and only looking for the good when we experience doubt, we might feel that we have no safe space to speak openly or to seek understanding. And this silence can deepen our sense of separation, as though our very humanity is at odds with the ideals of the community. By breaking the taboo around doubt, we create spaces where honesty is valued, vulnerability is met with compassion, and connection can flourish even in uncertainty. And Eileen Campbell Reed wrote this: "We move forward in trust, even if we cannot and should not leave our questions and doubts aside." Michael Zimmerman tells a story of being a boy in school when someone passed him a pair of Chinese handcuffs, seemingly innocent, thimble-like casings with an opening at each end. It was passed to him without a word, and through curiosity, he slipped his left forefinger into one end and his right finger into the other end. Leaning into what is gripping us will allow us to work our way free. And that's a passage from the Book of Awakening by Mark Nepo. And I have another passage from The Gifts of Imperfection by Brene Brown. She wrote, "Owning our story can be hard, but not nearly as difficult as spending our years running from it. Embracing our vulnerabilities is risky, but not nearly as dangerous as giving up on love and belonging and joy. The experiences that make us most vulnerable. Only when we are brave enough to explore the darkness will we discover the infinite power of our light." And this is a quote from Ernest Holmes. "We must strike out for the heights, away from the mists and fogs of doubt, and see things through the eyes of spirit." So doubt can be used as a doorway to connection and reflection. And breaking the taboo of doubt isn't about eliminating doubt. It's about changing our relationship with it. In many spiritual, philosophical, or even social spaces, doubt gets treated like a flaw, something that signals weak faith, lack of commitment, or even failure. That framing is the real taboo, not the doubt itself. So, how do we change this? First, it helps to see our doubt for what it actually is, a natural function of awareness. Anyone can encounter uncertainty. In fact, doubt often arises because something matters so deeply to us. Doubt is not the opposite of faith, it's often what refines it. Without doubt, belief can become rigid, inherited, or unexamined. From a science of mind perspective, you could say that doubt is part of the creative process of consciousness. It disrupts automatic patterns and invites a deeper inquiry. But if it's suppressed, it doesn't appear. It goes underground and shows up as anxiety, rejection, or disengagement. So, how do we break the taboo? We start by making doubt speakable. And this can be as simple as a radical, this can be as simple and as radical as saying, I don't know if I believe this. Or part of me questions this idea, not as a rebellion, but as honesty. When one person voices doubt without being shamed or corrected, it quietly gives permission for others to do the same. Next, we stop treating doubt as something to fix immediately. There's a culture of reflex to resolve uncertainty as quickly as possible, especially when certainty can feel safer. But sitting with a question without rushing to an answer builds a deeper kind of trust, not certainty, but resilience. It also helps to distinguish between destructive doubt and generative doubt. Destructive doubt shuts everything down. Nothing is true, nothing matters. While generative doubt opens things up. What is true here, really? The first isolates, and the second invites exploration. If we only reward certainty, people will hide their questions. But if curiosity is valued as much as conviction, doubt becomes part of the shared path rather than a private burden. And finally, there's a quiet shift. Let doubt be included in your life rather than excluded from it. You don't have to resolve every question in order to move forward. Breaking the taboo of doubt isn't about getting rid of it, it's about allowing it to belong. Albert Einstein said this: although I am a typical loner in my daily life, my awareness of belonging to the invisible community of those who strive for truth, beauty, and justice has prevented me from feeling of isolation. So each of us are manifestations of the one, perfect and complete divine. Each one of us are human and have the privilege of exploring divine perfection in human incarnation with all its messiness. Self-doubt is a normal and expected part of this experience, not something to be ashamed of or to hide away. Self-doubt gives us the opportunity to explore our doubts and our curiosities more deeply. And by leaning into them, we may find ourselves more certain of who we really are. So, as we begin this exploration of self-doubt, what doubts or uncertainties are you hiding? Can you recall a time when you were strongly experiencing self-doubt? And what did you do or learn from that experience? And how can you be a loving companion to yourself in your doubt? Do you fear your doubts, believing that they will reveal something deeper that is somehow untrue or untrustworthy? What if that were the case? But what if it weren't? So I'll leave you with this final quote from Richard Rohr. It takes a huge push, much self-doubt, and some degree of separation for people to find their own soul and their own destiny. And that takes us to our affirmation for the week. I accept my doubts as the opportunity to learn. And now it's time for our news and updates at our center. If you are interested in learning more about the Science of Mind teaching, we are offering courses via Zoom as well as in person. So connect with me to find out the details or check our website. There's a separate drop-down menu for upcoming classes. There's also a new survey for your input on upcoming classes. So check that out and put in your suggestions so that we can plan dates for these as well. And if you would like to have a one-on-one connection for spiritual mind treatment, please connect with me so we can arrange a time for this. And if you would like to commit to being a member of the Center for Spiritual Living Puerto Vallarta, or if you would like to be on our board of trustees, please contact me so that you can be sent the current forms. I'd also like to remind you to like, comment, and subscribe to our YouTube channel and our Facebook page. When you comment on YouTube, the algorithms give the site an extra boost so that more people can become aware of it. So please put in your comments, even if it's just a heart emoji. And also let me know if you would like to receive our weekly post on Substack. And finally, I will be attending the Convention of the Americas again this year in Lake Chapala, Jalisco in Mexico. And this year, I will be offering a workshop. So I invite you to come and join me for a week of love, wisdom, and community. You can register online through the link www.conventionoftheamericas.org. I hope to see you there. And now it's time for mindful giving and financial support of our spiritual home. We rely on your support to continue our center here in Puerto Vallarta so that we can continue offering this powerful teaching of the science of mind. We bless the financial gifts that you give today. Every donation is greatly appreciated. And donations can be made via PayPal or Tithely by going to our website, www.cslpv.org. And you'll find the donate buttons on both the landing page as well as at the top of the page where you find the weekly recordings of the talks. Alternatively, you can still mail in a paper check by addressing it to CSLPV number 403, 2125 Birch Road, Kelowna, BC, V1Y8N1. And now please join us in our offertory affirmation. I know that my giving blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I give and receive. I do give eternal thanks for the abundance that is mine to share. So thank you for coming and sharing this time together. And let's continue practicing peace. We can each be a force for peace and nonviolence. Our words and our actions create ripples of peace all around us and beyond. Peaceful living includes acting with compassion, kindness, and consideration. And it also includes standing up against injustice. So today, more than ever, we need to continue to stand for peace. So hug your friends, your loved ones, and your neighbor. May peace and love be with you. Blessings. Namaste.